Hello and welcome back to Going Over, episode 2 of our WCW 2001 save. Thanks for everyone who commented on the first one. I was actually surprised at how well it did. I was expecting a brand new channel to have a string of videos with 10 views, 11 views as it got going, but it actually got a few hundred views, which is pretty nice. So hopefully it keeps going in that way, keep up and up. We're about to get really into the swing of things now, as the first episode was doing all the back end stuff, getting the roster ready, signing people, getting the booking team ready, the inner circle ready. But this is the big one. This is our first show. Big bang, our first pay-per-view. So a few little bits to do before we book that, before we get into it. First thing I want to do before we start is set our commentary team for the event. Let's see, who do we want as our main man? I think Tony Schiavone. I know you want to get away from the old WCW and create some distance, but I don't think he was really the issue at the time. I think he was told to say a lot of dumb stuff, but I think give him a bit of freedom and he could do a great job, as we've seen on AEW these days. Him and Bobby Heenan don't get along, I know, even though they have a bit of experience. So I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to bring Jerry Lawler in. I think that's a nice way of setting it up. Obviously a big name commentator from WWE. He's still quite a big name in the early 2000s. And you never know, he might even pop out of the commentary desk now and again to have a match or an angle or something. But that is our commentary team going forward. And I hope that should work. Alright, so without further ado, I think it's time to book our first show. So our first show, I'd like the first show to be a sellout to really set us up nicely. So where are we popular? We're popular in the Southeast and we're popular in Mid-Atlantic. Let's go in the Southeast. Georgia Dome, we're expecting 21,000 fans. So Georgia Dome's too big. Alright, 21,000 fans. Let's see. We would sell out the Alltel Arena, American Airlines Arena. I think down the road I'd love to do the Superdome, the Georgia Dome, etc. for like Starrcade. That's the long-term goal. New Orleans Arena. 18,000. Where's that? Orlando Arena. 21. Ooh, we'd be cutting it close. No, I think I'd like to guarantee a sellout rather than coming close. So let's book the American Airlines Arena, I think. 18,000 capacity. If we could fill that, that'd be great. Finalize broadcasters. Going on DirecTV. Simple enough. We're actually going on all of these. Okay, the booking team meeting. Shane, Johnny Ace, Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk. I've added Don Callis or Cyrus as well. So let's get some ideas. We'd like a finish. Bit of a gamble, discard. I want certainties. Big gamble, come on, give us something. Oh, right, so we've no real... I don't want to take any gambles, to be honest. So no real great ideas there from our first booking team meeting. That's disappointing. But look, we'll go. Hopefully we can just book it ourselves. Locker room. Robert Gibson has turned up. He's unemployed. Yeah, do you know what? Ask if we can use him tonight. Not tonight. Maybe next time, though. Dusty Rhodes running drills for students. That's good. Dan Severn brighten the mood after doing... I'm surprised at that now. I would not expect that in Dan Severn's locker. Jindrak pull a rub on RVD. Everyone's having a great time. This is great. We're all buddies. All friends. Let's do... Use Sperling on a receptive audience can be effective. I'm going to do the Paul Heyman their first pay-per-view, that famous video.
Oh, we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance.
I'm going to try and inspire them. First show, new era. Let's go, boys and girls. The entire locker room is now fired up and buzzing. Let's go. I know we haven't started the show yet, but this is going very smoothly. All right, I'm going to put the show together now, and I'll be back in a moment, and we'll go through it together. All right, the show has kicked off in front of 18,165 people in the American Airlines Arena, which I believe is a sellout. Kick things off, we had a pre-show first, just to get some of these new young guys some in-ring time, maybe let the crowd see them for the first time. I went for Colt Cabana versus CM Punk in the first pre-show match. Two young guys we've signed. Look, they're not well known at the time, but we know they know each other in and out. They can work together. And yeah, they had a pretty good match all in all. The 47 rating, a crowd rating of 3, but a wrestling rating of 44. Good chemistry, which is no surprise. The commentary lifted match and color commentary gave a boost. That's good stuff. So yeah, happy with that. I mean, if we get these two guys over, no telling where their ceiling will be. The next pre-show match was 4 guys who are familiar to WCW. 3 count versus the Young Dragons. Nice simple match again. 53 rating, 30 rated crowd, 52 rating wrestling. Yeah, just a nice match to give these guys some ring time, get them back into the swing of things, get a look. Kaz Hayashi had a 56 rating. Shannon Moore 53. Not bad. I will be using these guys on TV whenever we get the TV deal for sure. And now, let's get into the actual show. So, to kick things off, Shane McMahon makes his way down to the ring. He tells the crowd it's the start of a new era in WCW, and over the next few weeks we're going to be seeing a lot of new names. But everyone already in WCW will have their chance to impress. This is not the WCW of old. This is not about serving egos or power trips. This is about serving the fans. To kick off our new era, every single title will be on the line tonight. And that's going to start with a 5-way match for the Cruiserweight. Title. Later on tonight, Team Canada, that is Lance Storm and Mike Awesome, will be in action against Palumbo and O'Hare for the tag titles, with Palumbo and O'Hare currently the champs. And in our main event, we will see 2 men who are synonymous with WCW. Booker T will take on DDP, but this won't just be any normal title match, because Booker is going to be defending both of his belts, the world title belt and the United States belt, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. There's more written, but it's lost. I need to work out how that works. He also goes on to say, so it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. The first fall will be for the United States Championship. And the overall winner of the whole match, so whoever gets the 2 out of 3 falls, will be the new, or the current, World Heavyweight Champion. So both belts on the line in the main event. We could see the belts splitting up between DDP and Booker T. We could see Booker holding both belts. Or DDP could be the new double champ. A big, big match to kick us off. Speaking of kicking us off, it's time for the first match on the show. This rating also got an 86. It absolutely flew. Got the crowd hotter. Show got off to a strong start. Shane McMahon had a groundswell of public support. That's always good. And then to kick us off, a 61 rating, which is pretty fine. A 5-way cruiserweight title match. Shane Helms versus Chavo Guerrero versus Billy Kidman, Jamie Noble, and AJ Styles. So a lot of guys who WCW are familiar with, and then got AJ Styles in to mix it up with them. And he performed well. He had a 54 rating. I was expecting much lower from him. But I mean, he was one of the best in the match. He has a hot new move, which I'm assuming is the Styles Clash. And Shane Helms picked up the win there, making his first defense of the Cruiserweight title after 15 minutes. He pinned Jamie Noble with a vertebreaker. Jamie Noble was the weak link, struggling to keep up, but I mean, he did fine, 43. A lot of 60s on the board there. That's a good match. I'm happy with that to kick things off. You see a limo pulling up backstage, and Scott Hudson is on the scene. Cyrus steps out of the limo. That's Don Callis these days, for those who aren't familiar. And Scott Hudson approaches to find out who he is and why he's here. Cyrus then says, so this is where the big boys used to play, eh? I gotta say, there's a lot of buzz going around the industry about WCW being back. So I've been sent down by the network to see just exactly what all the fuss is about. Cyrus chuckles to himself as he walks away. So yeah, anyone who watched ECW back in the day will know the network was kind of the heel group on ECW, and it was like alluding to the network that actually ran the show. And so it's kind of the heel group. So it looks like the network could be making its way to WCW, maybe tying into a bit of real life stuff as we try and get an actual TV deal up and going as well. I got a 53, so not bad. Then Tony Schiavone and Jerry Lawler talk to the viewers for the first time properly. Tony talks about how exciting it is to be back in front of fans, and he'd like to take this time to formally introduce his newest broadcast partner, Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry says it's an honor to be calling the action here with him, and who would have ever thought you'd see him sitting in front of a WCW desk? Right you are, King, says Tony. And now, folks, it's about time to get back to the action, and we've been informed that Sean Stasiak has issued an open challenge to anyone in the industry. He's out to prove to the world that this new era of WCW is his for the taking. Tony Schiavone improvised well. Jerry Lawler was great. Jerry Lawler, good. That's good stuff. Very happy with how they performed there. I mean, that's an easy one we can go back to in the future on shows. And then Rob Van Dam is the surprise opponent for Sean Stasiak, and they had a great match. 74 rating. Sean Stasiak still teamed up with Stacy Keibler. They both did well. Rob Van Dam had a 76, so I mean he's straight in at the best performer of the night so far. And the RVD is here storyline has started. So yeah, Rob is going to be a big guy in WCW. A lot of focus on him, and it looks like it could go very well for us. Sean Stasiak also was not happy about losing this match clean, but I like Sean Stasiak, but I don't see that much of a future for him in the company. So again, some of the older guard WCW guys, Sean Stasiak, Hugh Morris, The Wall, I think guys like that, look, their days aren't numbered, but I mean, I don't think there's going to be much of a focus on them. So a lot of them are going to be losing. A lot of them probably aren't going to be too happy with that. But on with the show. Scott Hudson is joined backstage by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Bobby is his usual funny self. He cracks some jokes about WCW somehow still being alive. He makes some jokes alluding to not being able to find Hulk and Bischoff backstage. He's wondering whereabouts they are. And he says, "Oh, look, I've heard it's a new era in WCW. That's what everyone's been saying. And it's good because the last era, there was a lot of trouble behind the scenes. Everyone was kind of out for themselves. If you ask me, this era feels a little different. Some of the boys backstage feel a lot closer, more focused. In fact, even though I've just met some of these new guys, they're already starting to feel like family." And Bobby winks at the camera and walks off, leaving Scott confused. So, could we be seeing a new Bobby Heenan family, just like it was back in the day with Andre and co? Maybe he's got some new people he has his eye on. A 51 segment rating, which is pretty low. I would imagine Bobby's probably pretty good. Let's see. He's penalised for low morale, which is not good. That's because he hates Tony Schiavone, I think. So hopefully he can cheer up over the next while, and then that should improve his ratings. Next up, we have Booker T cutting a promo. He's backstage. He's got both belts on his shoulders. He's looking like the man. He's ready to take WCW on his back and carry it to new heights. He thanks Shane for keeping this place alive, and he promises to the fans he will be the champion they deserve. DDP, when everyone else up and left, we stayed here. We stayed because we believe in WCW. And tonight, we're going to show the world why they should believe in us. Now, can you dig that? So Booker just getting over that main event, hyping it up, letting the world know that it's him and DDP's show, really. Then we had our tag title match, Team Canada versus the Natural Born Thrillers. Lance Storm submitted Chuck Palumbo with a Boston Crab after interference from Cyrus, the man we just saw earlier from the network. The match, they went out, they had a tried to steal the show. Team Canada are the new tag team champions. Lance Storm had a great match with a 74 rating. And that was Lance Storm off his game, so that'll tell you how good he could be. Maybe he's going to be a bigger player in this company than I thought. But yeah, it looks like Cyrus, the network, have picked their guys that they're going to be representing. And he's helped them steal one from the Natural Born Thrillers, our first title change of the night. Next up, Buff Bagwell is backstage. He says the more things change, the more they stay the same. It might be a new WCW, and there might be a McMahon in charge, but make no mistake about it, this is Buff's company. Shane McMahon, Buff calls him out. He says, as far as I'm concerned, you not putting me in that title match tonight, that's strike one, buddy. So you better shape up quick, and you better start giving Buff the respect he deserves. Trust me, you don't want to strike out. So, some harsh words there from Buff and his new boss, the new owner, and the Shane McMahon storyline has advanced. So we'll see where this plays out over the next few weeks. And then it's time for our main event in a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling. Booker T defeated DDP by 2 falls to 1, but crucially, he lost the first, which means DDP is the new United States champion, but Booker T is the new World Heavyweight champion. Now, I wasn't too sure how to do it where DDP was given the title. I could have probably done 2 separate one-on-one matches, but I just did it this way. But look, this is a great match, an 80 rating. The crowd was hot, the wrestling did well. Booker's gained heat, and the Booker storyline. Booker had a performance of 85, DDP to 70. So there we go. Our world champ going forward is Booker T, and our new United States champ is DDP. A great main event to cap off the show. The show then ends with Booker T and DDP getting back to their feet, and they lock eyes. There's a tense stare down after the match, and just when you think maybe they might come to blows or the match maybe was just the start of it, DDP grabs Booker by the arm and he lifts it in the air to announce him as the worthy victor. The two of them hug and they're both handed their now respective title belts. Booker with the world title and DDP with the US title. The show goes off the air with both guys standing on the corners of the ring, up on the turnbuckles, holding their belts high in the air. They're solidified as the 2 top guys in the company, the guys to beat. And there we go, an 84 rating. I mean, a really hot angle. Seems like that did well. Good main event, 2 top guys. That really looks, I feel like that was a great first show. Yes, 79 rating. That is an amazing first show considering who we have on the roster. Looks like we need to get a new deal in Canada, but look, I'm not really concerned about that. Our show increased our popularity in 22 regions. That is a huge success for us, I think. So let's address the locker room. Who performed? I mean, Lance Storm pointed out as an example. He had an off night and he was still one of the best guys. Booker T did great all night. Complimented a good performance. And who else? Rob Van Dam had a good match as well. So we'll compliment him with a good performance too. They're all pleased with that. The finances. How much did we make? We made $3 million off that show. Wow. I was worried about our finances. That's a huge success. I was worried about the wages that we got in the first episode. But look, we didn't need to worry about it at all. We somehow only spent 750 quid on marketing. But look at that. 3 million profit. Up to 8 million in finances. $454,000 in ticket sales. Nearly $100,000 in merch. I mean, we could not have had a more successful first show, I think. And there we go. We're more popular in a lot of places in Canada, actually. And in the US, we're up everywhere, really. Let's hold a scrum for the journalists. I haven't actually done this before. With tonight's show complete, you've chosen to take part in a media scrum. How are you intending to use your new signing, Rob Van Dam? Will I say I have high hopes for him? I don't want to upset other people by saying I'm pushing them, but look, it's true. Your response, plead RVD. Don't think anyone else was annoyed. We just hired Cyrus. How do you see him fitting? I'm going to say we're going to play it by ear. I don't know if that's probably the one to say, but I don't want to say we're giving him a huge push. He's not really. He's essentially just a manager. He's going to be talking a bit, but like he's not going to be winning a world title or anything. Mike Awesome and Joey Styles hate each other. Are you worried about how this affects the locker room? Mike Awesome has a needy personality, is annoyed. Joey is a quiet personality, he's fine. I'm going to say as long as they remain professional, I don't tend to get involved. I don't want to say any of those. I'm going to say as long as they remain professional, I don't care. Oh, that didn't go down well with the locker room. Okay, I'm learning. I don't know if you've noticed, but you don't have a single big star under the age of 30. Not yet. Do you feel this reflects badly on you? This appears to be an example of short-term thinking and leaves WCW without a clear succession plan. We've got plenty of young talents up to dame to bring in and develop. I mean, I am bringing in a whole new generation, but it's going to take a while to build them up. The plan is to push some of our current younger stars really hard to turn them into stars. Colombo like that. Okay. With Team Canada having won the titles tonight, are they going to be getting a lot of spotlight? They are going to be getting a bit of spotlight, I'll tell you now. I'm going to say they deserve the opportunity to get a run as the champs. How concerned are you about the off night DDP had? Did he have an off night? I thought he was good. Give him a break. Big Bang is a success. I think it was a huge success. Whole roster should be very proud. Sean Stasiak confirmed I ignored his wishes to change the book in the match. He's annoyed about it. Do you expect everyone on the roster to do as you say? I'm going to say it needed to be done for the good of the show, which is true. That's stressful. That was more stressful than booking the show, trying to put that together. My God. BG James and another talent we have coming in, James Mitchell, who I think could come in handy. I think we have a lot of guys who aren't the best talkers, so I like having a lot of managers to help them out. Jamie Noble is a good worker. I agree. 1.9 million viewers for Big Bang and a buy rate of 3.87. I mean, that is a great show. Seems they really struck gold. I mean, let's just quickly check. Did people get any more over from that match? Booker T got way more over. He's on 74, 76. I mean, he was only on 70 coming into that match. Did we hurt DDP? No, same again. Up and down in some areas. But I mean, that's pretty good. Rob Van Dam. How does it affect his? Again, up by 5 nearly in a lot of places. Up by 5 everywhere, really. Tri-State is on 60. So yeah, we've helped a lot of guys here. How's Cyrus? Not that over. He didn't really get more over. Lance Storm. I mean, next up is getting a TV deal, which I think I'm going to try to do now. If we can get started from tomorrow with Nitro from Monday, and then Nitro every week, Great American Bash in 42 days, gives us a bit of time to build it up. I think we'll be flying it. So let's try to get Nitro back on the air in the USA. We want cable commercial. Is that what we want? Yeah, USA Network. We're going to try. New deal for Nitro. 2 hours longer will to allow. Okay, let's make Nitro. I actually don't mind having a shorter show. Maybe an hour and a half. Okay, they're happy with that. Let's do a 6-month deal, 3-month deal. Maybe just a 3-month deal if we can go from there. Right, they're offering us early evening or late night. Early evening would need to be a 73 every time, which I think we could do. But we'd have to pay $50,000 per show. I'd like to make money on the deal. Late night would not pay anything. And they'd be willing to give us 25% of the revenue split. I think we're going to try this. 3 months, late night show, 25%. The deal has been agreed. Nice. So we've got a TV deal for Nitro. Nitro's going to be on Wednesdays. I don't want to go up against the WWE just yet. Maybe down the line. Commentary. We're going to go with Tony and Jerry. They seem to do a pretty good job, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. So a successful first show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you like the look of things. And we'll be getting into Nitro now next. Maybe in the next episode we'll do 2 episodes of Nitro or so. But yes, very successful first show. Happy with that. Went way better than I thought it would, to be honest. Still a few things I need to learn about, like getting the press conferences, just getting the notes of each angle in so that they're readable. Some of them got cut off. Maybe I'm just writing too much. But yeah, if anyone has any advice or anything you'd like to see, let me know. Maybe, is there anyone you think Bobby Heenan should have his eye on for the family, or any ideas for any guys, anyone I should be signing, let me know. I'd love to hear it in the comments. Thanks again for supporting the first episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode too. Give the video a like. Love to hit, I don't know, what's a pretty good, at 20 likes even would do, because it's in early days. So if we could hit 20 likes, that would be great. But yeah, like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll be back soon. Thanks for watching. Good luck.